welcome to Pyware Night School Episode 6. Tonight we're going to be discussing drum fabric creation, something that we didn't cover last week. Going to discuss copy and paste performers, copy and paste visuals, and how to create rippled visuals. So, I'm going to give it a few seconds here, let people join up with us. There is a lag in the recording and streaming, so if you have any questions, please go ahead and post them in the chat there, and we will get to them. In the event that we don't see them until after we've moved on, we'll swing back around and cover those at the end. We're going to have a special night school next week for TMEA. It's going to be a crossover with UDB. I'm going to discuss how to get your drills from Pyware to UDB and the streamlined process of doing so. All right. Well, now that we're up and running here, I've got my Photoshop open here with our drum template. It's available in your fabrics folder of your Pyware 3 documents folder. This is very similar to all of the other templates that we covered last week. You have your guide layers here that you can turn on and off. This helps create the design area that you can work within. You have a logo here. So you have your drumhead logo. You're able to adjust that size or add your own logo to it. Let's see here. So we wanted to just blow that logo up here. All right. We also have the drum head color. You're able to select the color overlay and adjust that to be any color that you would like, very simply. If you have a specific drum head that has a design on it, you just import that image directly, and it's going to fit right in there. You'll be able to size it down to fit. If you're using Photoshop, the shortcut to do that is Control-T or Command-T if you're on Mac. All right, and we also have our drum shell color. We have the design here. We have different overlays here to create a different effect to give you that gradiated effect. You can come in and adjust the color of your drums. Select your color profile. Okay, so we've got some green drums here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the guide layers here. I'm going to turn off the background color, and I'm going to do a save as a PNG file. All right. Let's do our night school drum. And this one drum template will cover all of the different types of drums. All right, let's get a performer out here, or a couple of performers. All right. I'm going to assign them some instrumentation right quick. Select a performer, percussion. Let's do a snare drum. Tenor. Bass drum. Let's run down the list here. All right. Get our drums applied. All right. So we have our performers on with our drums as the standard drum color. Let's get my snare drum. Okay. You'd come into your document options, go into the real view, and you can scroll down in your fabrics list. These are unique for this particular drill. So scroll down to our drums, and let's find our night school drum. There we go. Repeat the same for each here. There's our drum. All right, just get all of them listed here. Okay, so I have all of my bass drums now, my tenors, and my snares. Now, as you can see here, I have my new drum skin created. All right. Well, if there's any questions on how to create any of the textures, please let us know. We can cover those as well. Okay. Delete these performers here. All right, let's move on. Just let me know if there's any questions on how to create drums or anything of that nature, and we can whip back around and cover those. So we have copy and paste. We're able to copy and paste performers. We're able to copy and paste ranges of counts. We're also able to copy and paste visuals. We're going to cover all of those tonight as well. So let's take a look at the copy and paste of performers. Let's just put some performers on the field here. Copy is available under the edit menu. By default, what that's going to do is it's going to copy everything on the page. It gives you then the ability to have a range copy as well as pasted performers. All right, so what we can do is we can choose paste performers. We have several different options here. Since we're on count 0, we're not going to be using these typically because we're on the same page. We can paste as new performers or paste as a new sketch. If I do as a new sketch, it's going to enter sketch performers here. I can do the copy and paste, Control-C, Control-V. I can paste performers here, and you can change the symbols just as you would if you were creating them for the first time in a drawing tool. And you can change the color as well. You also have mirroring options. You're able to mirror it across the 50. That's going to automatically mirror that form for you. So let's say we wanted to do that. Mirror across the 50. And you can adjust from there. You also have the ability to mirror the shape vertically or horizontally, depending on where you're trying to paste that to. So if I wanted to mirror that vertically and stack them to where it's mirrored across, let's say, the hash mark here, you're able to do so as well. Let's see here. So let's create a transition. Let's say we are going from a curve to a circle, and I've created my transition. However, I went ahead and accepted the form, but I don't really like the transition that it's creating. So you have a couple of options here. One would be to redraw the form. The other is actually to use the copy and paste function to recreate that transition. So I can copy my form, I can paste it, and I can choose to paste with different matching order. This gives you the matching options that you had when creating the form using any other drawing tool. So you can come back and rematch those to create a better transition for yourself. So let's clear our matching here. And just start matching. All right. So we now have our new transition created. All right. So now we can go ahead and choose to paste to accept that new change. Let's run through and create a couple of more quick transitions. Let's say I wanted to rotate this 90 degrees. I'm going to have that shift down, do a compound move to have a little bit of a curved path. Okay. Give us a little wheel rolling effect. Let's split these up or create a V here. Use our pencil tool instead. Alrighty. We have 10 yards and 10 yards. Proximity match, that's not the effect I'm looking for, so let's do a custom match once more. Okay. Back. Last. Clear. Let's actually do our predict next. Okay. We have our transition created here. Okay, so we have a couple of transitions here, and let's say we want to have this entire segment go backwards. So we can use the copy and paste range function to actually create that transition backwards. So let's see here, we've got 24, 24, 24, another 24 counts. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy my range. I've got my range selected here. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to select my new range, which is the same amount of counts. I'm going to choose paste range. And I have an option of inserting counts, or I can choose to overwrite the counts. What I'm going to choose is to overwrite the counts. And then what I also want to choose is invert copied range. So it's going to take this as a starting point, and it's going to actually make it the new ending point. So I'm going to choose this. The bridge page tab before and after pasted range is going to create a transition from this point to the future, or this point to the back. So at this point, it's going to have merged these because it's going to be the same form. Let's say I'm pasting this into a drill. What it's going to do is it's going to refloat this transition afterwards if I had something created. So it'll move in smoothly. I'm going to go ahead and choose to paste this. Okay. I'm unable to bridge past this page tab because I have no page tabs afterwards. This is the message you're getting. Okay. So now I have pasted my range. So I have my first 72 counts. And then I have pasted it backwards. I have successfully copied and pasted a range of counts and inverted it. Are there any questions on copying and pasting of forms or copying and pasting of ranges? Okay. Let's take a look at creating rippled visuals and copying and pasting visuals. All right. Let's delete our transitions here. Let's just get a straight line to work with here. All right. Let's assign some guard members just to have some flags. A little bit easier to see for our examples. All right. So when you are wanting to create a visual that you want to copy and paste, or you want to create a sequence of visuals that you want to ripple down a line, what you need to do is you need to first select only one person, and that's who we're going to create the actual visual with. So let's say we want them to start out at a right shoulder, okay? And then we want it to take a 4-count transition to a wall pose. When you're using all counts in between, when you want visuals to overlap, or not overlap, but butt up against each other, you want to use the ending at function here. So I'm going to say it's going to take 4 counts to do this visual transition. So I'm going to go from my right shoulder position to my wall pose position in 4 counts. I'm going to go ahead and choose to apply those changes. So when I animate, it's going to create a transition like this. So I want to then create an additional transition. Let's say we want to then transition to wall pose left. Let's say we want to have that take another 4 counts. And then we transition it back, and we can continue on. Let's say I wanted to have a 4-count X carve. I'm going to do another 4-count. Let's say I wanted to repeat that, another 4-count X carve. And all I'm doing is I'm shifting down my red handle to create the transition, the visual transition that I'm wanting. And let's say we come back to our wall pose, taking our 4 counts. Now let's say we end back at our right shoulder position. So now our 24 counts of guard maneuver look as such. All right, so I have now successfully created 24 counts of guard maneuver, and I want to copy that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose to copy my one performer that I've created. Okay, and then what I want to do is I have 29 positions. I'm going to select this range here of 48 counts, let's say 72. I'm going to then choose to paste visuals. And I have all options here to include movements to be pasted. I'm going to have options at count 0, count 24, because we have visuals there. I also have a visual series, which is the actual range of visual transitions that I've created that I can paste. I then also have saved visuals that I've created. You can create your own visual list here by choosing Edit List. So since I have copied that visual range, I can actually create that as a preset, and I can add that to any number of performers at a later time. So if you want to go through, let's say this time, an off-season time for summer marching, or marching band and drum corps, we can actually create our own presets of visuals. So let's say I have a 24 count guard visual. And I'm going to choose to save my visual series. I'm going to go ahead and say OK, and that will appear in your preset visual list. So now I can actually apply this to any drill that I have. So I can select here. Say I've got my visuals. I can still have them pasted in my clipboard, or I have my new 24 count guard visual. Let's say I wanted to sequence this every 1 count. So it's going to start in the order of the grouping, which was starting here down this way. Once I accept, it's going to apply that visual change sequentially. Let's play it. As you can see, we are rippling down the line now. And that is how you sequence visuals. You're able to copy the visual that you've created, whether it be a single count or a range of counts, and then you're able to paste that to a different range of performers as in a different range of counts. Are there any questions on how to create that? We can also go in and create lower body visuals at the same time. It would be the same process. Okay. Let's just select our one test performer. And we're starting at stand right here. For our 4 counts, we can move to open second, left. We want to do 4 counts. All right. So now we're going to see this, and we're going to be doing an upper and a lower body visual at the same time. And say we stay there for an additional 4 counts. We're going to move over. Let's create a second transition. We're going to do that over 4 counts as well. So now our 12 counts of transition. Okay. So we maintain that pose as well. Let's come back to power stance for 4 counts. And then let's say our last 4 counts, we're going to come back to stand, which is our feet together. So now our new upper and lower body visuals are merged here. Okay, and then we're able to then come back and select that performer and copy those visuals. Come back to paste visuals. Select everybody and choose paste visuals. I'm going to add this to my list. So I have created that in my presets. Got this selected. I'm going to sequence, accept. And now we have both upper and lower body visuals happening. Are there any questions on how to create visual presets or how to apply sequential visuals? Well, I think that'll cover it if there's no questions. If you think of anything, just let us know. We'd be happy to cover that in our next episode. Just a reminder, next week is TMEA, so be sure to stop by the booth if you're going to be there. We'd be happy to say hello, show you anything around the new version of the software. So please give us a holler if you want to see anything next week. Y'all have a wonderful evening.